What are we doing, Seth?
Wow, did you guys watch that match, the Easy and the Pereira match at UFC? Wow, that was awesome. I never knew. Okay, fine, I had my doubts against Easy. You don't blame me as a fan, right? You know, he has lost to this dude like 2-3 times in kickboxing, and maybe twice in kickboxing, right? And he also lost against this same dude that has turned to be his nightmare in big time MMA. So I had my doubts coming into this fight, but you know what? I thank God that Easy pulled it off with a devastating knockout to this nightmare guy. What are we doing, Seth? I really congratulate Israel Adesanya. I'm so proud of him. I like the way he talks. He's a wise guy. And the way he speaks, even at the moment after the fight that he won, when they were asking him questions, you know, most times when you win, you are at another level and you just talk about yourself. You try to elevate yourself and be proud and everything. But the Easy was so calm, and even at the time where he's supposed to do all of that, he was humble enough to say words that are very encouraging and inspiring to us, the fans. Wow, what a champ. What a champ. I hope you guys watched it. It was awesome, you know, and I just use this program to just dedicate to Israel Adesanya right now. Wherever he is, whoever knows him, tell him he has a big fan on this show. What are we doing, Seth? And with this guy, Victor, right here, because you are a champ, that makes me a champ. I can relate to what he's saying. He's a young guy and he has a whole lot in front of him. He's already achieving his dream and he's very, very inspiring, very wise and very bold, you know, and he came out strong, with confidence. It reminds me of Muhammad Ali. All right, congratulations. If you guys have not watched that fight, go watch it. Israel Adesanya against the Brazilian Pereira, or Pereira, you call it. Man, he was Pereira today, man, because he was knocked out by Easy. Make it look easy, though it wasn't. But I congratulate him. A job well done. Today we'll be talking about the Four Kings as we move on. And I want to get your take on this. The Four Kings. You'll be wondering, who are these Four Kings? Well, let me remind you, there were 3, but I'm adding one more so that we jam them all together, because they are folks that we can relate with as Africans, as Nigerians, and you know, we'll take it from there. They are, of course, Easy, Israel Adesanya, Anthony Joshua, Ngannou from Cameroon, and of course, Kamaru Usman. We'll be talking about those guys when we come back.
What are we doing, Seth?
All right, here we go. Now, if you are one of those that grew up at the time I was growing up, you don't want to guess the age, that's fine. But I remember way back when the likes of Kanu Nwankwo, Okocha, if you guys love soccer, when they were coming to the limelight. For the most part, let's be real now, they started at not a very good age coming to the limelight. Now, you know, in Africa, you want to meet up because you want to turn your family around, your fortunes around for the most part, and all of that. And you have a certain skill, and you got lucky, you got introduced into European football. You went to there, and it's always a dream for you to be able to go to a place where you can exhibit your skills, you know you can do something, and you've been given that opportunity so you can make a career out of it. So, but you know, when we were growing up, it was difficult at that time to get that. And when you even do get, you know, it might be a little bit late in life. So that's why sometimes, okay, some folks might not like what I want to say now. In footballing competitions, you will see when they say under 20, under 18, you know, under 16, you know, you'll, you know, like, is this guy really like 16 or 19, you know? You know what I'm saying, right? What are we doing, Sam? But you see, those things happen at the time where, because of the things that were in place, maybe it's even happening now, careers start a bit late. So for you to be able to get the best when you have the opportunity of going to Europe and otherwise, you will want to bring down your age a little bit. You know, it might not be your real, you know what I'm saying, you know. So yeah, when you now get into that situation where you now have the opportunity to express yourself and make a career from it, you want to get the best of it. So you want to stay as long as you can, right? But you know within you that you might not be able because the impression you're giving to them might not be the real deal, right? So at the short period, you want to make as much as you can and you get out. And that has really helped a lot of us. I remember way back, Andrew Uwe. I don't know if you guys remember that kind of name, but way back, I used to be, from when I was growing up, I used to like sports. I follow football a lot. That's the #1 sport in Nigeria, right? You know, I remember Andrew when they were going for this under 20 competition, very husky voice with a mustache. I'm like, what, under 19 or 20? And you know what? Okay. But that was just, I mean, that was the best we had at the time, you know, for that competition and all of that, you know. And I'm not saying it's peculiar to Nigerians and everything, everybody does it. But the bottom line is here, the point I'm trying to make is, due to our age growing up, fortune started a little bit late. The opportunities we get comes a little bit late. Unlike the children that we have now, they have the opportunities right there, right from when they were born. They are born, rather. Okay, before they are 20, they are 18, they're already seeing money, they're already living their lives. At my time when I was growing up, at 18, you might still even try to get into university because JAM will jam you, GCE will GCE you, WAEC, you try it 3-4 times. You know, you're living under your parents at 20, 22. And you know, I have a friend or two that were living with their parents up to 30. They've not started life. So that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying back to, so especially in sports, where you see, you know, at the time, it was an avenue for you to turn your life around, your family's fortune around, especially if you're coming from Africa, right? So when the opportunity comes, like I said, it could be late, you know, depending on where you see yourself at that time. If you're lucky to start as early as possible, but for the most part at that time, a bit late. So today, look at Kamaru Usman. He come on out and all of that, you know, with all the vigor. You know, Nigeria don't carry last, right? And he's coming on out, making name for himself and everything, okay? And at some point, he was on the limelight, you know, was cashing in and everything, and everybody was happy for him. But we all knew that, you know, age, you know, if only I started a little bit early and everything. I'm not saying, you know, so at this point, I'm not sure if Usman can really still go ahead, especially with that loss. You know, sometimes when you're used to a situation and something happens and it changes, for you to come back to that level again, it takes a lot of psychology, it takes a lot of mental ability and be able to step up again. You know, and for Usman, I'm not sure. I mean, considering his, should I say, true age, I mean, I really don't know if he can still go very far in winning that championship. Let me tell you, Josh Foreman did it in his 40s. So, I mean, anything can happen. But I'm saying the chances are, you know, far in between. So, but hey, I wish him luck. Usman, I love the way he fights. You know, very aggressive, passionate, and he goes for the kill. Like, you know, he tries to end it with his power punch and everything. No, he has, you know, put a lot of flavor in the sport. And you know, I'm glad that he's making us proud as Africans. You know, it's not easy out there. The competition is really, really tight. So for you to come on top is a big kudos, man. I can't even do that. All right. So that's one king right there. And hopefully he'll be able to come back. I know he has tried, he lost the last two to the same guy. And maybe that's not the ending, but I'm sure it's close. But again, he has cashed in. I'm sure he has changed his fortune of himself and even his family, which is, to the most part, the bottom line, right? You know, so I wish him the best and all of that. Anthony Joshua, you know, good looking, strong guy and everything. He came onto the limelight, you know, looking strong, promising, a lot of passion, really. And, you know, he won the belts from Klitschko. And, you know, Klitschko at that time was at his peak as well. But again, enough credit to Anthony Joshua. He was able to create another legacy for himself, and he was doing good. He fought a lot of quality boxing matches, won, cashed in, and everything. He's still young though, you know, not as young, but he's still young, all right? He still looks fit, looks good and everything. But after the loss again, just like Usman, after losing his belt, he's been studying it. I don't know if AJC has that passion like he used to. He's cashed in. He is the love of England. Don't get me wrong. That dude is loved by English people. You know, he was raised there. He has a lot of fans. I think he's based there too. So he's very likable, very lovable kind of guy. He's also a Nigerian, right? So he's cashed in. He's made a lot of fortune for himself and everything. But after that loss, you know, sometimes we need to understand. I know it's hard to say. Maybe it's easy to say, but hard to do. When you lose, sometimes it can make you think down of yourself. you lose confidence, your ability, especially mentally. And for you to really come on back, it could take a whole lot. Some people don't even come back when they see defeat or when they see failure. But you see, we always say, motivational speakers will tell you failure is part of success. I think it is. I agree. But a lot of people, when it comes to managing failure sometimes, it could be tough. So for AJ, I don't know if he has, with the last match he won, and now said he was trying to see if he can fight Fury. Mentally, I don't know if Joshua is ready. What do you think? Is Joshua really ready for the next battle? Because I know Fury, Wilder, those top two guys, for AJ to be at the level that he wants to be, undisputed heavyweight champ, those two guys lingering around there, he has to beat them. At least to gain that confidence for himself, especially, and others. I don't know if AJ can make that. And if he does, wow. I'm also a fan. I like the way he smiles, the way he doesn't talk a lot, but, he brings out this confidence and a lot of abilities, and it makes the boxing look so easy, the way he talks and moves and everything. Very nice. Somebody was saying, hey, he has a good physique for, maybe he should go as for modeling. That wouldn't be a bad idea, right? I mean, maybe he's doing it already. Boxing is also good, and it reminds me of Muhammad Ali when it comes to looking good and everything, But about the boxing abilities for now, he needs to really bring back that passion he used to have, that ability, that confidence, especially now that he really needs it after that loss, that first loss. I know he lost to a Mexican and he won it back, which was a very good comeback. And he now lost again to the current heavyweight champ, Usyk from Ukraine. Hopefully, he'll be able to come back, especially up here mentally. Like I said, he's still young. He still has a couple of years. So if you can make up, that would be a great comeback for AJ. All right, Ngannou. Now, he's an African, a Cameroonian to be precise. He started a little bit shaky, lost one or two, but when he was fit, when he was able to get his acts together, man, he was pumping those blows, man. And it was good. He became a champ. Now, in Ngannou's case, like Usman, age-wise, I'm not sure if it's still an advantage to Ngannou. Like I was saying earlier, he started a bit late to get into the limelight in terms of age. Now, I'm sure Ngannou is at his peak. And right now, whether he wants to do boxing, wrestling, I don't know. He hasn't really made up his mind. He's no more in the UFC. He relinquished his belt and all of that. Why? Because, there was misunderstandings between him and the management of UFC and all of that. He had to let go of the belt, go somewhere else. Time is running out for Ngannou. Now, this is the third king we are talking about, right? Ngannou, when he came in, everybody was like, wow, what a punch he has, and he was really displaying all of that. It was really good at the scraps. It was, cashing in as well, and it was the pride of Africa, pride of Cameroon, and was doing so good until when he now felt that it was being, it was not paid the way it should be. And I don't blame him for saying that for a lot of sentimental reasons, which I understand. Everybody does, So that led to him, since there was no understanding, he relinquished the belt, and Fury was saying, okay, in boxing, he might make more money, blah, 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 blah. The story. Now, how far that will go, I mean, he's getting to that stage where he has to really tell himself what he really wants before it's too late. Now, you don't want to come back where you'll be disgraced, so to speak, whether it's in boxing or UFC or whatever, because age is not really on Ngannou's side. All right? So, as we speak, I think it would be better if, Ngannou comes out, if he really wants to tell us what he really wants to do. And if he can actually go ahead and do it and accomplish all of that. If he can do that, that would be great. Okay? Awesome. Okay? Regardless of what you see, I mean, for Ngannou, hopefully he'll be able to accomplish his task. I'm loving the guy. The guy is strong. He's a real African dude. Well built, kind of raw, but also powerful. And he's a champ. And just like Israel said, if you are a champ, you'll always be a champ, with or without the belt. All right? So kudos to Ngannou. Kudos to what he's fighting for. I think it benefits all of us. And I can relate to what he's fighting for. Okay? Hopefully, he gets through and he accomplishes it and he still cashes it before time runs out in terms of age. Now, he has also changed the life of his family. And Easy. Hey, what can I say about Easy, man? The guy, the way he talks, the way he fights, very smart dude. And he's young too. Not very young, but he's young. He's still at his peak right now. And I think he also has an idea when it's going to stop. Now, that's the beauty of everything. When you live when the occasion is loudest, right? And I think Adesanya understands that. Okay, he conquered kickboxing when he came in. He beat everybody except for one nightmare guy. Okay, when he was done, he came into MMA. He was beating everybody except for that same nightmare guy. But he conquered his nightmare because he came back to win back his UFC middle belt title. Awesome performance, awesome personality. He's everybody TV guy, right? Easy give you lyrics. He knows how to talk, and he talks smart. Okay, and he's a guy that reminds me of Ali. Okay, because he talks and he proves it. He tells you, "I'm going to beat this guy. I'm ready to fight anybody." He doesn't pick opponent. He's ready to fight. There was a time he said he likes to fight at least in a year 3 times. He lives up to it and he beats. He beats whoever comes his way. He has dominated his division till date. Nobody can fight him. Those that try to do, he messes them up. Except for this Pereira guy. Okay? This Pereira guy is the only dent in Adesanya's story. Why? Because like I said, he has beaten Adesanya twice. He's Adesanya in kickboxing. He has beaten him. Adesanya left him. So you know what? Okay, I've been winning kickboxing, but you came and I want to mess my story. Let me leave you and go to the big time. Adesanya came to the big time. The UFC dominated as usual. He went on, dominated, cashing in and everything. There comes the nightmare again. Left kickboxing, came over. Maybe he's following him. Maybe it's a coincidence. I don't know. And he beat everyone. Now, of course, the people that he fought for before he went for the title, Adesanya's title, were not as, when it comes to quality, as the ones when Adesanya just came in, he had to go through the process. But in this guy, Pereira's case, he beat a couple, 2 or 3 people before he got the title shot. And that was because Israel gave him the opportunity. You know what? Let me try somebody else. That is how great Israel is. Or like some folks, some champs, they pick or choose, right? He said, okay, bring him on. Luckily for Pereira, he won Adesanya the first fight. He dented the story again. Nightmare, isn't it? But Adesanya was like, okay, that's fine. Came back and beat the living daylight out of that same guy. In fact, arguably, when they were doing kickboxing, Israel, if you look at his fights, the 2 fights he fought with this guy during kickboxing time, he was close to defeating this Pereira twice, right? Before, for some reason, Pereira sees the chance of, at least as one, the second one he knocked Adesanya out. The first one was like a unanimous decision or whatever. And those 2 fights, it was just, should I say luck? I don't know. Or maybe Adesanya was not as experienced. I don't know. Whatever. But you see, Adesanya is this close to beating him and something happens. And good thing is, he learned this, even when he came to UFC and fought the guy, the same process. It was beating the guy. Go watch the video. Before, at the point, the knockout came against Easy. So Easy has learned his lessons. And this dude, it's not that well I can't beat him. All right? For some reason, it didn't happen. But this time, even when all doubts were on the table, Easy believed in himself, all right? And came back, watched the videos, watched the history, watched the trend, and strategized, came back, boom, won. Awesome, great champ. And everybody loved it, okay? So Easy's case, he's cashing in, he's turned his life around, his family is around, hey, and he's young. But again, like I said, he knows, because during the interview, he knew, he was hinting when he might stop or stop the fight, stop the career, UFC career altogether. He said he has less than 20 fights thereabout to go. So he knows where to stop. But the good thing again is he knows his age and he knows when is the best to leave the limelight. All right? So those are the 4 kings we have. And Easy, for the most part, knows what he's doing. The good thing about all of this is you know what you're doing. You know when to step back for other people to flow. You know when to leave when the occasion is loudest. With the history he has made, if he stops today, Easy is going to be successful for life. The guy is very skillful. He's skillful in even journalism. He said it himself. He can write a book. He's very strong in YouTube. On YouTube, he's doing a lot of stuff that he loves. All right? So those are the 4 kings. And they have, for the most part, especially the first 3, that's Ngannou, Kamaru, and maybe Joshua, especially Ngannou and Kamaru when it comes to age. Joshua, well, hopefully before the age runs out of him, he knows, when to stop. Maybe you try a couple of fights, then stop. And you should not be afraid of losing. There's nothing wrong. It's just records. I remember when I was watching Undertaker. Undertaker was always winning. Boom, everybody would scream. He would come on the ring, even though that's entertainment anyway. But until the Beast came in and won after 18 long streak. So there will be a time where you might not win because somebody else wants to win too, right? So it's the same thing in life. There is a time you pray that for the most part of your life, you always are successful. But it's almost inevitable that you might sometimes not be. So it's part of life. But don't be afraid of it. AJ was showing a little bit of fear. Even in his last fight, he won, but come on. I'm not saying he's just go out there and lost. No. Or lose. But in any case, don't show it. I'm sure even when Easy was talking, I'll beat him. Maybe in his legs, he's shaking. But because, he's talking about he's being positive. And that's why I like Muhammad Ali. Ali is not perfect. But when he wants to fight any opponent, he puts fear in you, takes out the fear in him and put it in you. It's a mentality thing. And I want AJ to realize that so that will help him if he really wants to go a couple of more career fights. He should be able to make his mental ability to be strong so that he can, achieve more for himself. You never know. You have to understand that the person you want to fight is also afraid. So don't think you are the only one that is stressed out. But don't show it. Don't show your vulnerability too much. It's just going to make you feel like a loser already, even before the fight starts. All in all, these are our 4 kings that is making us still very proud of a sport, especially UFC, that is not as strong as soccer in Africa. It's coming up, and Nigerians and Africans that are involved in it are doing very, very well. So proud of them. They are setting the pace. You can imagine the more talents that are still available in Africa. Just wait until you see the new ones that are coming in. You will be shocked. Because Nigerians are always, or Africans, there is always unlimited resources, even human resources. It's in abundance. Now that there's an open door for another sporting event like the UFC, before you know it, Africans will conquer it. Trust me. That's what happened in soccer. Okay? We are full of talent. But here we are, 4 kings, making us proud. Win or lose, they are champions. And that should inspire you and I in whatever venture we want to put our hands on legitimately, and we get it done, surprise the world, shock the world, and turn your life and your family's life around. And everybody will benefit from it. All right? Well, those are the 4 kings. Which of them is your favorite? Is it Kamaru Usman, AJ, that's Anthony Joshua, or is it Ngannou, or Easy Adesanya? Let me see your comments. Subscribe, please, if you haven't. If you enjoy the content, kindly share. If you want us to do better, please drop your comments. Put the ones up, sign up, subscribe, and that will be great for us. As we move on in this venture to make our minds, both in and out, our mental ability to be stronger, and we go conquer. Nobody should tell you otherwise.
Just listen up. I want to say something. I hope all of you can feel how happy I am just one time in your life. But guess what? You never feel this level of happiness if you don't go for something in your own life. When they knock you down, when they try on you, when they talk about you, and they try to put their foot on your neck, if you stay down, you will never ever get that resolve. Fortify your mind and feel this level of happiness as you rise. One time in your life, but I'm blessed to be able to feel this again and again and again and again and again.
Always remember, do unto others what you want others to do unto you. All right, folks, talk to you again. Bye-bye.
What are we doing, Seth?